if her mom decided to go out and rob a bank, then all of a sudden is Wendy a robber?
Hello, friends. We're back. We're Black and Curious. I'm Kendrin.
What up? It is Deja. How y'all doing?
Hello. And we're back. If you've never been here before, we do a cross section of pop culture and real life. Today, we're talking Real Housewives of Potomac.
Yeah, we've been here for a little while.
Real Housewives of Potomac. Thoughts?
I'm bored.
Yeah.
I'm bored. Ashley is doing her usual Ashleyisms.
Let me say something about Ashley. Let me read Ashley real quick. Just 30 seconds. Her having to talk about her mortgage and that Michael is on that mortgage. If he's not on the deed or whatever she said. So it is her house. But he is, in fact, on the mortgage documents. And her having to talk about that every single time somebody asks is karma for how she treated Candiace for living in her mama's house. And listen, the people know, if you've been here before, I am no Candiace fan. No. But that Ashley was vile in how she treated her about living in that townhome, and she deserves. I personally wanted to point out that she has to talk about Michael Darby every time she talks about her house, and it is what she deserves. Karma. That's it.
I will give her a little smidgen of a slice of a corner of a piece of credit in that she came back and tried to clean up how she basically made it out that Nneka was disparaging Wendy, because that was not the case. But by then the damage was already done, because Wendy went back and told her family, and now her family then went off half-cocked.
Also, let me say this about Wendy. And again, if you've been here before, you know I'm not a Wendy fan either.
No.
So I gave Wendy a lot because I was also like not an Ashley fan at that moment. When she kind of was like, "You will address me as Dr. Wendy," I was like, "Okay, girl." I was kind of into that. You can't do it twice, and you can't do it to a lawyer, because let me tell you something. Nneka's a lawyer, and as a lawyer, we get juris doctorates. In some countries, lawyers are actually called doctors. So you don't get away with that same play as somebody with someone who is as educated as you are. Don't start. Juan is an embarrassment, not because of just what he has done, but because he joins these scenes with Robyn and then doesn't offer anything and is like, I don't care. I don't know. And it's just like, dude, you're on, like, the least you can do is give her an out and give her a point of conversation. And he doesn't give her anything. He gives her nothing. Even like normal affection. He doesn't give her anything in those scenes.
No, none whatsoever. And I want to say it was in the most recent episode that someone asked if they had Karen asked them if they had an arrangement. And she was like, "No, we don't have an arrangement." But like, girl, it
feels like it.
Clearly you do.
Feels like it. And like, I get it. She's trying to stay face, whatever, but like some of this, it just does not feel, it does not feel natural. It feels like two people who like each other well enough and they have kids together and they're just going to stay together and they're going to be together. And like, they're friends, they're friendly, they have companionship, and that's it. Like, it doesn't feel like there's any romance there or anything else. Or that he even feels like he owes much to Robyn. I don't like that.
No, he just don't care. And my thing,
no, he doesn't.
Because he don't care, you are apathetic too.
Yeah, and that whole "I don't care" thing, it seems very much like a Juan thing that Robyn has kind of like taken on.
Trying to adopt this, but it's bullshit.
Yeah, but it's bullshit, and we can see through it. Hate that for you. So that's pretty much it.
In a few years, we're gonna see like a full-on breakdown and demise of this relationship, because this is not.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're just gonna stay.
He's gonna do something so egregious that like she ain't gonna be able to hide from it.
It would have to be
he just don't
in
care.
no, it would have to be in a lot of years, like when their kids are out of the house and grown and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I
So
mean.
maybe, but right as
the
of right
oldest
now,
child he's on his way to high school, is he not?
yeah. So it would have to be another like 5 to 10 years. But as of right now, I don't see that anything is going to break them up. And I kind of do think that they do have an arrangement of some sort. So I will say this though. I think we have talked about it in the past. Time for some housewife term limits. I think Gizelle is reaching hers. And this is from a Gizelle girly. Okay. I thoroughly have enjoyed Gizelle Bryant on my television. However, her storylines, her mess stirring it's losing steam. It's losing steam this season. It don't seem like she has a lot hooking into the group other than trying to start mess, but it's also like very transparent.
Because like this season, I haven't like. I'm sorry, we talking at the same time. Sorry, y'all. This season, like Karen pointed out, when they were sitting there down to the poolside, Gizelle is on mute.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like she did try to start mess. I can't remember the situation because I didn't write it down in my notes, but she just it's falling flat. It's falling flat. I think she's maybe said something between like Wendy and Mia or something. I can't remember. Either way, the fact that I can't remember is evidence enough that it's falling flat. I will say the Grande Dame is giving the performance of her life. I am here for it. Karen has showed up this season.
Her confessionals, honey, them shady remarks, and then she be cackling at the end. It's the cackle.
When she talked about Juan falling in the food at pickleball, when I tell you, the scream, I scrumped, okay? She was just like, she was like, you are a professional basketball player. You are a professional basketball, and your big ass gonna fall into my food at pickleball. When I tell you, I hollered. I literally wrote that in my notes because it was so funny. It was good to me. I can't say if it was funny to nobody else, but Karen has been killing it in these confessionals. Okay. She is trying to bridge the group, and I am here for it. She has showed up this season for me.
I love me some Auntie Karen. Yeah.
The Grande Dame has showed up for us.
Hopefully I get to see her perusing through the city streets when I'm back in Richmond.
Yeah.
And she's usually down to the Southern Kitchen.
Okay. I will say I appreciate seeing Candiace grow. I know I drag Candiace at every opportunity because she gets on my nerves so bad. But watching her relationship with her mom in particular, like evolve and just seeing her kind of like coming into her own is nice to watch.
I think too that like relating the age thing to Sweet Tea of Married to Medicine, I think that when we got introduced to Candiace, she was in that age range of really trying to figure out who she was and how she wanted to show up and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And now she is fully solidified in her identity. And I think that makes it easier for her to coexist with her mom and other relationships at that. Because she's not as like as she used to be.
I agree with that. The Mia and Robyn, I appreciated their little moment when they were talking about their money managers, you know, absconding with their funds and then often, you know,
unaliving
themselves. Thank you. That is horrible. That's horrible. I
understood where Mia was coming from.
Mia recovers.
Yeah, because she's like I think now I have a better understanding of like why there's such a separation between she and her husband, why they're now like going through the divorce proceedings. Because if that was the attitude that he carried, and this was one of his siblings that like unalived themselves because of like the legal back and forth, that's hard. And that's to rough, see your loved one be that seemingly like heartless or cold about it, I can understand why she's like, you know, what if I had done something, and not putting words in her mouth, but it seems that that's the thought process that's happening while they're in therapy. Right. Like, what if I do something that's so, you know, dire to you? Would you just up in like I'm dead to you, mind, body, and soul too. Like, how does this connect? So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, this season I will
Um,
say that Mia is making a lot of sense.
She's making a lot of sense, and I appreciate, and I said this in the last episode where we talked about Real Housewives of Potomac. I appreciate that she's being transparent. She's not trying to put on like she still got all the money in the world. She didn't try to sell her shirt to stay in her house. She downsized, and she's like, listen, come over. It's not as grand as it used to be, but I still want you to come over, and I still want to talk about it. And she's being transparent with Robyn, and I really like Mia this season. Even and it's not just I think I liked Mia last season. I just found her to be funny. Mia
funny.
gives me like Phaedra. She gives me Phaedra energy. It's like, she's lying, but also like she's still a good time. We'll get there. But like
I like Mia for Robyn in the sense that that was the realest conversation I feel like I've ever seen Robyn have on camera.
100%.
It seems like Robyn just feels safe with her. And if that relationship continues to like blossom and thrive, I'm hopeful that maybe with Mia being present, we'll get more of Robyn's personality. Because I can't imagine that she is as stale as she's presented herself to be over the last few years. But if you don't feel safe in the environment that you're in, it would stand to reason why we get the stale version, like very, white bread.
So let's get to Wendy and Nneka.
Child.
Those people know
Nneka
each other.
Came in ablazing.
She did. She came in hot, and I really feel like Wendy is lying.
So here's the thing.
I think, wait, let me say this real quick. I don't know if she's lying or she's picking her words, because I have picked up a couple of times where she has said, this is my first time meeting you in this setting. And I feel like she might be like she stayed in law school long enough to get the semantics lesson. You know what I mean? Where she's kind of like parsing her words. Like, I'm not saying I never knew you or I never met you before. I'm saying in this setting, this is my first time getting to know you in this setting. Like, she said it a few times. And I'm like, there's no way that Eddie and Nneka's husband went to the same school. They were in the same affinity group. And they didn't know each other.
I'm probably butchering his name. Y'all are Nigerian cousins. Let us know, please. But no, I was trying to say his name, but I said it wrong, I'm sure.
I don't remember his name. But anyways, I'm just saying, like, as a person, as a Black person, right, who has been in like affinity groups from the Black this or the Black that, like, you might not know every single person in that affinity group, but you know them well enough to find them on Facebook when that was a thing, or Instagram or whatever. Like, you knew them well enough to like know of them and be social with them. So him saying like, oh no, I don't know that guy and I never followed him on Facebook, and I certainly never unfollowed him. It's like, please save it. And Wendy couldn't even get her lie together in the confessional quick enough. Please don't believe it.
Here's the thing. As it relates to Eddie, I feel like we are of a certain age where back in the day, if we was all at, whatever university, we was all part of the Nigerian Student Union or whatever the case. I'm just making things up. I don't know this stuff to be true, y'all. Then, okay, we know each other in passing. We all friend each other on our social media platforms. And then 20 plus years later, you'd be like, I don't really know this person. Let me go through and unfollow all these random people. Because I've seen
I haven't unfollowed a soul. And that's also
you don't be down to the book of faces.
I don't. But also, like, Eddie tried to make it seem like he's not down there either. He tried to make it seem like, oh, well, I mean, who even is still on Facebook, or who even really follows that kind of stuff anymore? And it's just like, well, obviously you do, because you unfollowed this man. And y'all had some, at least in passing. I'm not saying that they were besties. Yeah, y'all had some sort of connection. And Wendy's. Oh, go ahead.
There was no reason for, I think his name is EK. I'm probably saying this wrong, y'all. I'm so sorry. But there's no reason for him to go as hard as he did about Facebook.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Like, if he's saying to you, this is my first time meeting you, like I just met you a few minutes ago, it is highly possible that y'all could have been Facebook friends and he still didn't know. Like you just, because back in the day when Facebook came out, we was all friending people across. I know I was friending people across the country. Folks, I did not have never a chance in meeting in real life.
Understood. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I agree with you.
It just ain't that serious. That's really what it comes down to.
It's not that serious, but also I feel like Wendy is lying. And I feel like these people have interacted more than she's trying to let on. Even with her saying her sister, Ivy, and
who's friends with the cousin-in-law, Lebe.
Yeah, Lebe. I think these people know each other. And
I don't disagree with that.
To make it like she's meeting Nneka for the first time. And so, even if she was just like, yeah, I'm not familiar, like I know of you, or we've kind of been in, like we know some of the same people, but I'm not like, I don't know you that well. Like I could get along with that. But I don't feel like she did. I feel like she's trying to act like this is a complete stranger to her, and I'm not buying that.
So the thing that irritated me, because I'm like, okay, Nneka, you going real hard about this cousin-in-law thing and so on and so forth. And just because Wendy acknowledged her at the baby's christening doesn't mean that this woman is her friend. If this is her sister's best friend, then of course she's going to know her.
I don't mean that we friends. I disagree with that, because the reason why she acknowledged her was saying, like, if my daughter grows up to be someone that is like this woman, Lebe, then I would be happy. That means you know her character and you've been around her long enough to know her character.
Yeah, but that does not mean that they're friends. And that's my point.
Maybe not. Okay, sure.
Like, that's what Wendy is saying. She is my sister's friend. Like, yes, yeah. I know her. And we've been around one another enough to have a cordial relationship, and for me to know this person's character enough to say that, yes, I would like for my daughter, if she grew up to be like her, I would be happy. Cool. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, because again, that is your sister's friend, and understanding the little understanding that I have about Nigerian culture and how they all come together and, enfold everyone into their families. Like, I don't see how this is such a big deal. I just feel like we grabbing at straws.
Sure. Okay, I can see that.
You don't like her, she don't like you. You feel like her mother's doing witchcraft or whatever the case may be. The other thing that I did not like is, if the mom was to be doing all of this stuff, that is the mama's doing that. That don't have nothing to do with Wendy. That's not on her head. So why would you lob that at her? Like, if her mom decided to go out and rob a bank, then all of a sudden is Wendy a robber?
Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't like that either. I thought that was a bit much. It was a bit much.
And maybe that's a cultural thing. You know what I'm saying? And like, we as Black Americans are just missing it. So, to our Nigerian cousins, let me know, girl.
Yeah, drop down in the comments if you Nigerian cousins, if you're here, drop down in the comments. Let us know what we're missing with the whole Wendy Nneka thing. If there's something that we're missing. Yeah. And then for our non-Nigerian cousins who are watching, just drop down in the comments and let us know what you think about Real Housewives of Potomac this season. Are you into it, or are you kind of bored with like we are? And in the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will talk to you next time.
Peace out, friends.